Fear of failure is a common human experience that can hold us back from reaching our full potential. Whether it's pursuing a dream career, starting a business, or simply trying something new, the fear of failure can paralyze us and prevent us from taking action. However, it's essential to recognize that failure is a natural part of the journey to success. In fact, many of the world's most successful individuals have experienced numerous failures before achieving their goals. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will explore ways how to overcome fear of failure to find success. Before moving on to the video, let's understand, why do we feel the fear of failure? Because we are not aware of what is needed to succeed. It often seems that people who succeeded made one good decision, wrote one book, or went to one audition, and suddenly achieved success overnight. This is not the case. Do you know why WD-40 has the number 40 in the name? Because it took 40 attempts to create this product. Perfectionism. It seems that until we are true experts, we cannot achieve success in our field. But do you think Serena Williams became the world champion the first time she held a tennis racket in her hand? You guessed it. Of course not. Only practice makes perfect. Here are some dependable tips to overcome fear of failure. 1. Identify your fears. Learning how to overcome fear is much like any problem-solving challenge, in that you must identify the challenge in order to overcome it. What is it you're afraid of? Sit quietly for a few minutes and observe your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Write down what comes up, and be as specific as you can. Consider embracing a daily mindfulness meditation practice to gain greater clarity on what drives you. As you find your center, you'll feel empowered to confront your fears. 2. Recognize that fear can work to your advantage. Our emotions exist to tell us things. When you feel fear, your soul wants to tell you something. So listen. If you feel overcome by stress or distracted by a subtle but persistent anxiety, it's likely a subconscious fear that needs your attention. Rather than avoiding it, overcoming fear requires leaning into your anxiety. View the fear as a piece of information instead of a threat to your survival. When you use anxiety to your advantage, it can't ruin your life. In overcoming fear, it becomes your ally, a critical source of guidance to reach your full potential. 3. Sit with your fear. There are times for action and times for reflection. Acting too quickly to overcome your fear can lead to behaviors that do more harm than good, like reaching for a drink, indulging in comfort food, or even repressing the feeling entirely. Next time you feel fearful, do nothing. Sit with your fear for a few minutes. Think about it. What is the root cause? Is it fear of uncertainty? Fear of failure? What is the story you tell yourself about why you can't overcome this fear? A moment of reflection can have a great effect on overcoming fear in a way that is productive, deliberate, and effective. 4. Set smart goals to avoid the fear of failure. Think of your life journey as a long hike. You wouldn't expect to reach the summit without pacing yourself, taking small steps and breaks, would you? That's where setting realistic, achievable goals comes in. They are the small steps that help us climb the mountain without feeling overwhelmed, enabling us to tackle the fear of failure effectively. 5. Recognize the excuses. Fear makes you put things off. I'm really tired. I have other stuff to do. It's a dumb idea anyway. These excuses probably sound familiar, don't they? You probably said this out loud and to yourself. Think about it. Is there any truth to these statements, or are you constructing excuses to avoid potential failure? It's much easier and less painful to make excuses than it is to put in the long hours and energy it will take to work toward your goal. But excuses and opting out will ultimately leave you feeling unfulfilled. If you want to find out how to conquer fear, you need to take a different, proactive approach. 6. Don't let fear of failure dictate your actions. Fear can be a bit like a backseat driver, constantly nagging and filling us with doubts about our abilities. If we let it, fear can dictate our actions, stop us from taking risks, and keep us trapped in our comfort zones. But here's the deal. We're in the driver's seat, not fear. Think about this. What would you do if you weren't afraid of failing? Maybe you take up that art class you've been thinking about, or maybe you finally start that business idea you've been pondering. Whatever it is, it's essential not to let fear of failure hold you back from pursuing these opportunities. 7. Learn from your mistakes. Failure and mistakes, they're not the most pleasant experiences, are they? But here's an interesting thought. Mistakes are a goldmine of learning opportunities. If we can dust ourselves off and look closely, every failure, every blunder, has a lesson hidden in it. So the trick is not to avoid mistakes, but to embrace them as stepping stones towards success. 8. Seek support when needed. Life is a team sport, and there's no rule that says you have to deal with everything on your own. especially when it comes to fear and anxiety. If your fear of failure starts to feel too heavy to carry alone, it's perfectly okay to reach out for help. 9. Stay motivated. Keeping the fire of motivation burning bright can be an effective tool in our battle against the fear of failure. It's the fuel that drives us forward, that pushes us to keep going, even when the road gets tough and the fear of failure starts whispering in our ears. 10. Embrace change and be flexible. Life is a roller coaster ride, full of unexpected twists and turns. So the last piece of advice is to embrace change and be flexible. No matter how well we plan, things might not always go as anticipated, and that's okay. The key is to be able to adapt to changes. Overcoming the fear of failure is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires self-awareness, resilience, and a willingness to embrace challenges. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success, but rather a stepping stone on the journey towards it. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. If you like this video, make sure to hit like, share, subscribe button. Thanks for watching.